Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another episode of the fastest moving wrestling podcast, the fastest moving 1 hour and 15 minute wrestling podcast you'd ever want to see, the Square Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles, and people say I'm ignorant but accurate. The man to my left is in his office right now. He is a PhD, he's an accredited doctor in neckbeardology. His name is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him, you love him from Twitter. Don, it was an epic program that we watched last night over the airwaves of AEW Dynamite, Don. And there were a lot of questions, but no answers.
I got lots of questions. We're going to talk a little bit about AEW from last night. We're going to get there in a minute. There's some news and tidbits I want to talk about today, though, in the wrestling world. It's kind of a slow day in wrestling, kind of a slow go of it, if you will, baby. There wasn't a lot going on today, but there is some news and some fallout from Raw and a couple of other shows, and I'm not sure if you saw some of this. Bottles, what are you sucking on over there, pal?
This right here, I've got a little vodka and iced tea right here, pal. But later on, I'm going to crack open.
Oh, what is this?
It's available in my area now. Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. This could be a great thing, or it could be unmitigated panther piss. We shall see. We shall see.
There is a theme song for this, if you didn't know. He actually has a theme song.
Hit me with it.
This is how it goes, because I had to write down the lyrics so I would remember how he sung this. When your liver crashes hard and you're hurt inside. Da, 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 da. 3 of these things, man, you'll want to die. Well, you buy my beer, you know it's bona fide. I need the dough, man, my soul's dead inside. I am a real shitty salesman selling this shit throughout the land and sea. You get the gist.
Pal, the Hulkster, Mr. Balea, needs to make a buck. I wonder, has he ever really legally changed his name to Hulk Hogan? Or is he still going by Terry Balea?
Well, Hulk Hogan has an 8-inch penis in circumference, he said on the stand. Terry Balea does not. Or something along those lines. I don't know. I just remember the Gawker trial. It was some crazy shit he said like that. That's a real statement from Terry Balea. Don't ask me, pal. I didn't do it. We are going to talk about AEW's viewership. It was, it's not good. We're going to talk about that because all the neckbeards are, they're crying right now for good reason. But I want to talk about a little bit of news about the WWE. We talked about this earlier. The Braun Breaker segment on Monday Night Raw, where he faced off against Jacob Fatu.
Yes.
This is from Backstage, according to sources. There was heavy internal praise on how well this came off, especially reaction from the live crowd. We were told that numerous people backstage enjoyed it and were stunned by how big of a reaction this thing got. They didn't think it was coming. Yeah. Hello, Janisha. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. Glad you could be here tonight.
Folks, super chats are open if you want to see your name and your comment up on the screen. If you have a joke or whatever, any witty, snappy comment you want to make, throw a few coins in the shekel box and we'll put it up on the screen for you. Super chats are open. Don't forget to like, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and set your notification settings. Give us a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling, as the kids say on the streets. A ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. That little bell icon right down below. And that way you won't miss an episode of the Square Circle Maniacs Wrestling Podcast.
You know who's probably rung his bell one too many times is Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer apparently said today or recently, I can't nail it down, that if he wasn't a wrestling fan, he would have been a big-time NFL reporter. That's his claim.
Good for him. Good for him. Moron's gonna moron.
And if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass, as the old saying goes. I can just see Dave Meltzer in an actual locker room trying to ask real athletes real questions. I can see this. So was that hold a shoot hold, or was that a was that a working hold? What are you talking about, Dave? This is the perfect area for you to cover because your brain is just complete mush with wrestling. There's no room for anything else. He tried doing MMA for a while, and that fell on its face.
It did.
So
what is wrong with that man? What do you seriously? Serious question. No, all jokes aside, what do you think is the issue with Dave Meltzer? Is it psychological? Is it biological? Is it philosophical? What is his problem?
It's head and ass syndrome. I've seen it all the time.
Head and ass syndrome. Okay,
it's called HIAS.
I got you now. HIAS, head and ass
HIAS.
syndrome. HIAS, yes. Folks, are you suffering from HIAS? Sometimes we all are at certain times of our lives.
So, yeah, we're going to get to the ratings. We're going to get to all of that. Everybody hold on. Hold on to the reins. We're going to get there because Goldberg had something to say.
Oh, pal, I hope they're not going to do what the rumor is. I hope they're not going to do what the rumor is. No.
They said, based on the confrontation that you had, what was that about? And his direct comment was, I'm not just going to sit there and let somebody talk shit. That was his actual quote.
Keep it a kayfabe.
I mean, I respect that. Good for him.
The rumor going around is they're going to actually use Goldberg in one way or another over the next few months. Don't be surprised if he interferes in that crown jewel match with Cody and Gunther. Cody will have that belt.
I think Owens interferes in that belt, and that's how it goes. I think Owens interferes in that match. Kevin Owens is going to get interfered.
Really?
That's how I see it.
Could be a tag team coming up soon. Tag team match coming up soon, Don. Goldberg and Cody versus Gunther and Kevin Owens.
I'd rather slam my junk in the drawer than get exposed to that. Goldberg's day is way gone. I think we can all agree on that.
Drawer with cutlery,
doesn't matter.
Sharp objects.
Here's the oven. Have at it, because I'm not watching that.
The oven?
The oven.
What about the trucks? What about the truck's driver's side door?
It's happened. Don't ask. There's too many questions.
It's happened?
It's happened. Don't ask. Shit happens when you party naked, pal. Anyway, TKO.
This would be a solo podcast.
TKO has done some shit today you're not going to believe. They announced via press.
Sued in a ring boy trial?
Listen.
What?
Announced via press release this morning, the company revealed some corporate restructure that will see 3 sports assets, PBR, Professional Bull Riders, not the beer, On Location, and IMG are moving from parent company Endeavor under the TKO umbrella. Additionally, the company is initiating a stock buyback program that will allow shareholders to sell their TKO stock back to the corporation, along with quarterly cash dividend payouts to those with Class A stock. Together, they absorb an estimated $3.2 billion in assets. I never thought I'd see the day, but we might see John Cena on a goddamn bull. Can you see John Cena on a bull with the bucking the shit out of him, screaming the whole time, never give up, never give up.
Throwing the towel in the air. Throwing the hat out there. I can see Dominic Mysterio and a jackass just trotting around being led by a rodeo clown. I can see that.
Oh my God, none of this makes any sense to me today.
Not at all. Not at all.
I can't. Do you have any news or nuggets that you had that you want to get through today that does not involve last night's shows? Because I do have some news from last night's shows as well. Some of them are a little bit weird.
There's been whispers and comments, Don, that the women are now getting paid at the level of the men with these new contract deals in WWE, as per Pro Wrestling Insider, which is a website that I believe that I trust. And people are saying, "Oh, you trying to tell me Liv Morgan's getting paid the same as Drew McIntyre? Are you trying to tell me that Rhea Ripley's making Roman Reigns money?" No, they were grossly underpaid for what they do. They were just chronically making way less money what the men do and taking the same amount of bumps, working the same type schedule, even being a star on the level and exceeding a lot of the men on the roster, a.k.a. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill.
I don't think Jade is. You can get that out of there. Maybe Bianca is. And I'm sure they made it. I'm sure they made it good. They got some uptick in payment, but they're not making the stuff that Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes makes. They're making a good living.
Right. They're not making, 17 million a year like Reigns is
No.
with the merchandising. So, yeah, it's not happening. But they're going to be, it's going to be a level playing field for them going forward. And Don, I'd like to say that today is Dave Meltzer's 65th birthday.
Okay, cool. Daniel Garcia says he wants to prove that he can be a top guy in AEW. And I can't wait to talk about this show last night. Because if ever there was a time that I took a look at this roster and said, what the hell is this? It was last night's show. My God in heaven. In the great state of Utah.
Katsuyori Shibata, the guy who had his brain removed to put back in back in 2017. Did you know that the reason why he's not in New Japan is because the New Japan doctors will not clear him? Number one. Number two, they're pretty mad at him.
His brain.
They removed his brain and it took a power sander to it and put it back in, according to Dave Meltzer. There was a match that he was having with a guy named Ren Narita a couple of years ago. They're supposed to go out there and do a straight, like a pro wrestling grappling match. No strikes, nothing like that. He grabbed the microphone and said, he's not clear to do an actual match with striking, but he went and did the actual match with striking. And because he double-crossed them, they never put him back in the ring again. Eventually, he was no longer the head trainer at the New Japan dojo or anything. They cut all ties with him, let him go, and that's when Tony Khan picked him up. Putting a man, once again, putting someone who's not cleared to wrestle in a wrestling ring.
Good for them. I think it's time we start to delve into this shit show because it could take a while to unpack all of the hate that I have for what I had to sit through last night.
Let's do a little palate cleanser first. One last thing I've got before this. Did you know there's an AEW Origins comic book from DC Comics?
I saw them advertise this shit last night. I'm not getting into this. DC sucks enough on its own.
A lot of DC Comics had backup stories individual stories featuring the people from AEW. Swerve Strickland, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, naturally Mercedes Moné, and their ilk. And they could...
Mercedes Moné backstory. So I went in for my regular dance routine on the pole, and then it happened.
I'm just going to give you a little... Let me show you what this garbage looks like.
Oh, Lord.
Hang on.
We might get stricken for that.
No.
You know how they are about their copyrights.
There's Swerve Strickland, pal. Swerve tried fighting for others. Now he fights for himself. He bleeds his enemies dry. And this guy next to him right here, he looks just like Prince Nana. They did a great job. The artist did a great job. He looks just like Prince Nana at age 18. I feel dumber.
Get this off my screen. I feel dumber. Just like last night's show where I felt like an idiot and turned it off for the last 15 minutes, unlike Bottles who sat through this entire shit show. We had AEW last night. Sorry if I'm talking loud. I'm excited to talk about this trashy-ass product, which was utter garbage that drew 637,000 fans. Bottles, we are so far removed from the days of 850,000 people. It's beyond the pale at this point in time. By the way, that wasn't that long ago. It was in January. Right. It wasn't that long ago that they were drawing, 150,000 people. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notifications button. The super chats are open if you got something to say. Son of a bitch, they only did 637,000 while NXT did over 700,000 people.
Yes, 702,000. A lot of people were reporting incorrectly online on Twitter, 720,000, but it's 702,000.
I am utterly stunned at how far this has fallen in such a short amount of time. It really does remind me of TNA when Hogan came onto the scene and it all just started going to shit. Just everything started spiraling out of control into the gutter. And that's where we are right now with this. It's unwatchable and you can't follow
Unwatchable. And you're right. You cannot follow it. None of it makes any sense. The heels all have belts. Every belt is occupied by a heel now. Every single belt. Even, I believe, in Ring of Honor, the heels have all the belts. The faces that are famous, that people can say, a few, that people can say and get behind, those guys are pretty, I like those. They're all heels now. And people that were heels are faces. But you don't care about those new faces because they were being beaten. All these months, we were programmed not to believe and not to like Private Party. They're bums. Garcia, a bum. The Dark Order. They're trying to make something out of the Dark Order. Pizza Uno, the guy with the mask who lost weight and now he's 2000 Mick Foley level of weight right now. Huge. With the white shirt and the black tie and the evil Uno mask. He looks ridiculous. Alex Reynolds, good-looking kid.
You're running down the track. I'm running
down the track, pal, because I can't stand it. I can't stand this.
Well,
if
we got a lot
have this
to get
show, I wouldn't watch it.
I do want to go ahead.
The opening scene. I'm thinking about the opening scene of the show.
By the way, I want to say
of the show.
I'm going to get there. By the way, thank you everybody who supports us and celebrates this channel. Thank you all for sharing it. Media Boy UK, I know he puts it out there. Uzi, thank you all very much.
Yes.
Block Larry, Beer Man, everybody that sells out there. Denisha, thank you so much. Appreciate it. He does. Denisha gave us some money. She said, Don, I heard AEW lost 300,000 viewers in 2 hours. I don't know. I haven't seen the quarter hour breakdown. I haven't seen it yet.
I just picked them up while we were, while I was doing my tirade.
Well, then let's talk about this first damn part of this because they distributed 2,540 tickets for this show. It was set up for 3,000. And I said, well, I don't know what this building is because it's not the one that the Utah Jazz play in. So I did a little bit of homework on this. This is actually the Utah Grizzlies home, which is an ECHL team. The building holds almost 13,000 people. And they gave away or had 2,500 in attendance.
Sure.
I have no words. It's just a shit show, man.
That place was 1/3 full. That's what everybody said. It was 1/3 full of people. They may have issued 2,500 tickets. That doesn't mean there's an ass in every seat in 2,500 seats. So that's what you're looking at.
If they're saying it was 1/3 full, then this is neckbeard math. That's neckbeard math. It holds 12,000 people. They had 2,500 there. Right?
They're going for the setup. It was set up for 3,000.
I know. I don't care. It's embarrassingly bad. It's awful.
Terrible.
And then the show started. And of course, the Big Bang leads in again. Sheldon goes on a date with Blossom it's her first show, and I don't care.
There's someone's cell phone.
That's the Ring of Honor show. So that was after the show. They taped that shit, right?
Yeah. Everybody, they all bailed out for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? Anyway, we go back to Utah, that is known for celebrations and beer. No, it's not. It's known for none of these things. Don't go there. I lived there once. You've got to get to the liquor store before 7 p.m. It's crazy how they still live out there. Beautiful countryside. People can be a little bit weird. Anyway, the Cracker Clan leads off this show, and Moxley is saying everyone is responsible for what AEW has become, and he's talking about Hangman Adam Page. Nope, that's not at all. He's talking about actual butterflies. I couldn't hear shit this guy said.
You couldn't hear a thing.
The audio still sucks. They're in the middle of the damn salt fields and salt plains. Can't hear shit this guy's saying. The pickup truck pulls up. Why is the audio so bad week after week after week on this show?
Because they don't go back in any kind of post-production and bump up the audio. They've got several. If it's a multi-track recording for the audio, they can bump it up. They can separate it all, play with it on the equalizer and the mix, and bring up his voice. But they don't. They'd rather play that shitty background music.
I couldn't hear anything over that music. I had to strain to pick up that he was talking about Adam Page, and I was like, no, he's actually talking about real butterflies and how a moth eats itself or some shit. What is he getting at on this entire thing? He gets in the back of the truck, and off go the Cracker Clan. to go do some other horse shit. So I couldn't stand the way it started. Please get John Moxley and this garbage off my team. Why did the Young Bucks attack Tony Khan only to have this jackass crew come in and do the exact same angle? They come and do the exact same angle 5 months later and go, never mind about them. This is the new takeover shit.
Why wouldn't, if they did the thing with the Young Bucks and the Elite, why wouldn't Tony Khan say, okay, Lance Archer, Satnam Singh, Takeshita, Fletcher, Gates of Agony, I want you to kick the shit out of these guys. And that's it.
You know what we get? Do you know what we get? Because we go to AEW's backstage parking lot and we get what I can only describe as Herman Munster's friends. Is the only way I can. The big goof is the guy leading the charge. You've got some guy swinging a baton like he's going to join the cheerleader squad next door. One of these jackasses was the short midget was smiling, and then they cut to the middle. One guy in this entire motley crew of morons and B-list players looked like he had serious business. The rest of them look like an outcast of who wants to be a wrestler next.
I like the little bald guy, John Silver, the world's tallest midget, swinging the nunchucks and failing, trying to catch him underneath his armpit. It was garbage. It's a who's who, a murderer's row of people that you just don't care about. People that you don't care about. Of nobodies. Horrible. Horrible. Nobody. You can't be invested in a single person that was lined up outside with basic cleaning props from a dollar store. Broom handles, sticks, mops, buckets, nunchucks, you name it, they had it.
And they started the show off with this. And what was the show to start with? Where did we go from? What was it to start with?
Oh, you're talking the quarter hours? Let me.
The opening 9 o'clock quarter hour. What the hell was it? Where did
you mean 8 o'clock?
How did we get
8 o'clock, Don?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, Don. Sheldon brought in 832,000 people.
Hold on. Wait. Stop. 832,000 people started at the 8 o'clock hour. The average was 637. This thing had to get as dirt low as it could possibly get for it to hit that number. What was it after 15 minutes of this show?
688,000, Don.
Shut the front door.
Sure. It's fantastic, Don.
Run that math by me. Get it started at what?
832, Don. Get the calculator out. Down to 688.
That's almost 150,000
people gone.
Yes, almost, yeah.
Gone. They walked, they came back from taking a leak and getting another drink and having a plate of Hot Pockets and said, what the hell is this? Oh, Big Bang Theory's off.
I'm not watching this jackass in Utah. I'm not watching this
Change the channel, Earl. Change the channel, Earl. I don't like these kids. They all got sticks. One boy looks deformed.
All right, we're going to talk about the opening segment after this. Tony Schiavone brings out Adam Page. And I was like, for real this time. Now the real butterfly guy is coming out. He takes the mic from Tony Schiavone. Why does everybody take the mic from Tony Schiavone and yell at them? He has got to be the most useless guy I've ever seen in the middle of a wrestling ring.
Thank you.
Ever to conduct an interview. It's horrible.
It's over. Tony Schiavone needs to stay backstage, do backstage interviews, pre-tapes. That's what he needs to do. They really need him to do that and just have a off-camera role backstage, maybe helping production and things like that. No ring announcing. I mean, no coming out and interviewing people in the ring. No color commentary. None of that. Take him off TV, except for backstage interviews occasionally. So,
you know what? Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Super chat's open if you got something to say. Yes. I don't understand the point of Tony Schiavone in the ring anymore. I'm beyond it. Everybody, and we're going to talk about this because there's a theme here. Every time he's in the ring, they take the shit from him and start yelling at him and berating him and bullying him. It doesn't make any sense to me.
If they took the microphone back in the day, if Don Morocco ripped the microphone out of the hands of Mean Gene Okerlund. Mean Gene Okerlund would have reached in his pocket for a shiv and shoved it in Morocco's ribs.
No, the best part ever was when Hogan tried to grab him, and this was after he turned on him, and Mean Gene said, "Don't touch me, pal. I've got lawyers." Best return ever. Don't you touch me, pal. I got lawyers.
Shivani is just a guy whose best days are way behind him. If you want a product that's going to appeal to the young kids out there, the neckbeards, if you will, you don't have Tony Schiavone on your TV. You don't have Chris Jericho or Jim Ross on your TV. You don't have Excalibur, the masked goof, on your TV. You get rid of those guys.
You have
I can't believe Mauro Ranallo was just floating around in the stratosphere without a home. Now he's announcing for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling for Scott D'Amore.
Who is the new chick that WWE got for the backstage segments with the, I don't know if she wears contacts, but the eyes are insane. Like they're crazy.
Jackie Redmond.
Eyes. Yeah.
The great Jackie
Hire
Redmond.
girls like that for your show.
Yes.
Not this old fossil. Stop.
Yes. The great Jackie Redmond, pal.
Paige starts going off, screaming about who he's beat. He's just going on. And I said, this isn't very fun. And then Colton Gunn comes out of nowhere and attacks him. And then suddenly,
for what reason?
Because he jumped him a couple weeks ago, if you remember. I can remember that. Sakes. Yeah, that one interaction means they now they got to go at it now.
Look, if you gave me a crap sandwich, put another turd on top.
Wait, because I'm getting
Go ahead. Sure.
Colton literally had the upper hand in this for all of 30 seconds. And the next thing you know, Butterfly Man is kicking his ass all over the ring again. Gets him in the ring and the belt comes off. Now, I don't know about you, but when I rip my belt off and it's go time, the first thing I think is I'm going to choke this guy. Not I'm going to swing the belt like a lunatic at you with the buckle side out so it makes the best impact. No, we're going for the choke spot because that's the normal contingency in what we do in this company. Made zero sense from the time this thing started to how it ended up.
Jay White and Juice Robinson ran to the ring to try to help Colton Gunn, and they were afraid to get into the ring by a flailing cowboy butterfly gene madman swinging a belt, just swinging the belt, not really hitting anything, just swinging the belt.
I wrote the same thing.
I'll get hit with a belt. I'll jump it. I'll head on into somebody if he's swinging a belt. What's he gonna do?
I wrote the same thing. These two guys ran down like they were going to kick his ass, stopped, and then went around to opposite ends. It was hokey as shit. It just doesn't make any sense. I said he's holding both these guys off with the belt. What is with this? And then Jay White cuts one of his classic horrible promos. Hangman's Eye. Look, we've talked about this before, and I worry about the dude, right? Hangman's Eye, one of them was looking at the crowd and the other one was looking at the other side of the crowd. That dude's got to get looked at. That guy is getting as bad as Shawn Michaels is with that shit.
Yes.
He needs to have somebody take a look at that and see if they can't help him out.
Well, that sort of thing, it's an advantage in a handicap match. You can see both guys coming if they're on different sides.
Or you never know if he's looking at you. That's for sure.
That's true.
Look at me when you're talking to me. I am. No, you're not.
All right.
It's time. Go ahead and take a sip.
It's time. Hulk Hogan's Real American Light Beer.
All right, we're going to say it's decent on first.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Right. It's a little heavier than Miller Lite or Coors Light, which I do drink. It's like a Yingling Light. If you like Yingling Light.
Okay, yeah, Yingling Light, yeah.
You'll like Hulk Hogan's Real American Light Beer. Johnny Bottles.
Anyway, this thing ends with Hangman selling his leg. It was a work. Everybody should have known it was a work. It was weird. I didn't see where it would have hurt his leg anyway. Then we get this Sammy Guevara special. And he's got to have his moment of, I'm amazing. This company's amazing in his promo. And I forgot he's a Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion. Totally forgot about this.
With
Sheldon Benjamin comes out, and I wrote this. This feels very TNA-like to me because Shelton Benjamin went to TNA, right? Where he became a bigger star in TNA. Felt very much like this.
Did it taste like you just got leg drop bottles? Yes. And after I took a sip and swallowed it, I hulked up.
Thank you very much, Larry, for the super chat.
Everyone knows this is where the power lies.
This match I wrote is never going to end. It's never going to end. Shelton Benjamin is 6'2", 240 pounds, and looks like an absolute beast compared to Sammy Guevara. Looks like he could snap him like a toothpick. Snap it to a Slim Jim. Like, he looks that big. The dichotomy and the aesthetics of this match were absurd on the face value alone. And did you catch the moment where freaking Sammy Guevara dove out of the ropes and his feet caught the ropes? Mm-hmm. And Shelton Benjamin had to catch him in mid-fall. He saved his ass right there.
The whole thing reminded me of Brock Lesnar against Akira Tozawa, which a match that never happened. But that's what it would be like. This was ridiculous. And it went and last week with Leo Rush and Shelton Benjamin went on too long, 20 minutes.
Way too long.
This match went on way too long. It should have been a quick squash. Done.
I don't understand it. Shelton did win, but it never stopped. Just never stopped.
This shit? Who books
You know
this?
who does. You know who does.
Yeah.
By the way,
horrible.
All of you son of a bitches that keep stealing our titles, talking to you, you piece of shit. Who am I talking about, Bottles? You tell me.
Who's that? A former WWE Attitude Era writer? Who
who would that be? A guy named Vince Russo?
50,000 podcasts that he's a part of right now.
What
Vince
an asshole.
He's not the first guy that stole ideas from us.
It's not, but dude, for you gals that don't know, we put out these podcasts, it's just us coming up with these ideas. And lo and behold, Bottle shows me that a show we did about a month and a half ago now is suddenly the title for Vince Russo's latest podcast. So he can kiss my ass for real. Leave us alone.
AEW-centric. It was called Who Was This For?
Yes.
And Vince Russo comes out with, this week, a podcast, AEW-centric, that's titled Who Was This For? Not that we copyrighted it or anything like that, but look, Dutch Mantel.
It keeps happening. It keeps happening.
Dutch Mantel and James, Vince Russo, and sundry other wrestling podcasts have stolen ideas and things that we talk about. And things that we talk about, Don, about AEW, it's pretty amazing that these things happen in real time on TV. Things that we suggest one week, the following week, they're on TV. Let's have Mark Brisco on TV. Put Mark Brisco on TV. I'd watch him on AEW TV. Have him challenge for the AEW Dynamite heavyweight title. Have him defend a Ring of Honor championship on AEW television. He's gold. And what happened on this show? We'll talk about it later. What about the big guys? You got guys like Lance Archer, Jake Roberts. You got the Murder Hawk. Yes, the Chicken Hawk. Chicken Hawk. That's got a bad connotation, Don. But anyway, Lance Archer's now dyed his hair black, and he's,
by the way,
he's Dollar General Drew McIntyre.
We're going to get to that in a minute. Ray Baguette is backstage, and Mariah May says Anna Jay doesn't belong. And she doesn't belong. She's throwing her shit in the hallway. And out comes they have a cat fight. I don't give a shit, because what happens next was Kyle Fletcher and Ospreay having their segment.
Not Ospreay. Ospreay was not there. He talked.
No, but they had a segment. They had a little flashback over where we got here. So at least they told this story. And that little segment they had them in there.
Go ahead.
Okay. Kyle Fletcher has got a look.
Sure.
I can't deny that. I think he could wrestle a little bit. And this was his first chance to really impress me with a promo. And this shit reminded me of the Ultimate Warriors promo on WCW back in the 90s that saw like 300,000 people jump off of the channel. We saw what it was at 8:15. When did this guy come out, and when did he leave, and what was the number when he left?
Fletcher came out. 641,000 people.
And what was it when he left at the next quarter hour?
Oh, they lost 30,000 people, 611. But part of that quarter hour was Ricochet, MVP, Shelton Benjamin Angle, and then Cajun Archer versus POD, whoever they are. Those two big guys that they threw around. Just nameless grunts that they brought in. But go ahead.
Again, Tony Schiavone sitting in the ring. Ospreay takes it from him. And Tony Schiavone gets it yanked again. He gets punked off. That's it. That's the end of that. And this guy begins to talk and talk and talk. We get STFU chants going. We get all kinds of chants. Wrap this up. Wrap this up. This thing went on for what felt like an eternity. And he just drug it out as long as he could. He'd stop and talk to the fans. Then he'd meander on back to the camera. This was the promo that never ends. Yes, it went on and on, my friends. Kyle started talking in the ring about an hour ago. And when he'll shut the up, guess we'll never really know. He would not stop. And then to end this entire segment, to end it all, when we could have had a hair versus hair match, he shaves his head and begins screaming, "I'm nothing like you," into the camera.
And for what reason would he shave his head? Why would he do that? Let me see him take a knitting needle and stick it through his bottom lip. Let me see something like that. Something violence on him, some self-loathing. Pull out a razor blade and slash your thigh. Like all the kids are cutting themselves nowadays. Do that. Don't shave your head. I don't know why they let this guy talk. I don't understand it. You got Don Callis standing right there. Don Callis, a promo machine. Say what you would about the guy. He can speak and cut great promos. Let him talk for these guys. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get any of this so far. From Moxley in the desert looking for his truck keys, wandering around. You can't understand what he's saying. Straight on through to Shelton Benjamin and the taco truck worker. They beat the hell out of him. And now you got this guy giving himself a haircut in the middle of the ring. Dude, why not have Callis do it? If you're not going to let Callis talk, let Callis cut his hair. He's a pro at it. He's stone cold bald. Let him cut his hair. I don't get any of this.
When he started doing this,
I'm so fucking
easy with the F-bombs. We want to get paid.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you
did. I dropped the F-bomb? Oh, sorry, YouTube.
I just want to say this. When he started shaving his head.
We just lost 95 cents on YouTube.
All I can hear in my head the whole time is, "At the hair Cuttery." That's all I can hear. Hence, we got the thumbnail. God, this was terrible.
What have we learned about this show so far? We've got taco truck workers. We've got plumbers, the Moxley Plumbing Company. We've got Kyle Fletcher, your salon impresario, the barber, Kyle the Barber Fletcher. Call him that.
That's a great name. That's a great gimmick. I'll give you credit there. That's a great gimmick. We go back to the Maple Leaf Pro recap.
I'm your stylist, Kyle.
Yeah, because that's what we need on the AEW show that already has Ring of Honor that's never on TV, that doesn't have its show. Let's go to the Maple Leaf Pro recap so we can have Ricochet come into the show. And he cuts a promo, and I wrote, wow, now he's going to do a Rampage show. How fast has this guy fallen down the ladder of doesn't even matter anymore? You don't get any dirt strangler worse than Rampage. That's as low as it gets.
They've had the match. They've had the Ospreay Ricochet match. It's over. It's over. There's nothing else they can do with the man unless they put him in a clique. But there's nothing more they can do with the man. He's done. He's in the realm of Deonna Purrazzo and Jamie Hayter.
Is she?
She's on Rampage.
Snooki. Oh, Snooki's on Rampage?
Snooki's on Rampage.
You've got to stop referring to them as their real names because I'm getting confused because I can't keep up with people I don't care about. She is Snooki. It's Snooki.
I call her by her government name, Deonna Purrazzo.
Snooki.
The great Deonna Purrazzo. She's got a lucrative Weight Watchers endorsement deal.
Anyway, MVP shows up to offer Ricochet a card and say, "Join me." Because next is the best.
He should.
No, next we're going to talk about this match. Brian Cage.
Cut promos for you.
Oh, my God.
He's embarrassing when he cuts promos. Go ahead. Brian Cage.
Brian Cage and the Chicken Hawk come out. to fight the 1980s. Literally, they were fighting the 1980s. What the shit was this, man? This had to be the worst. This had to be the worst combo finisher I've ever seen a tag team try to employ on any show. Brian Cage puts him up at a power bomb, to which the Chicken Hawk tries to choke slam him from said position from the power bomb. It was a conglomeration of trash. Find something else. That ain't it. Do a double choke slam, but a power bomb into a choke slam is like a hat on a hat. It looked awful. It was executed poorly. Everything about it sucked. Everything about this finisher sucked because the walking steroid machine and the Chicken Hawk, it's just, it could be a good match because of the aesthetics of it, but that shit was terrible.
Who are you to doubt the Chicken Hawk? Who are you?
I am doubting.
Who are you to doubt Dollar General Drew McIntyre? Who are you?
I like nothing about this.
So we're still at 641, Don. We're still at 641.
Right.
Getting ready to slide down to 611. Go ahead.
Oh, shit. And here's why. OC gets called from the parking lot, and the valet says, we were poor. Why is everybody always talking about how poor they are? He was talking to them about how poor they were. Did you catch this? We were poor. We were living together. We couldn't afford potatoes to eat for soup. We each had to share pieces of bread. I ate a corn one day, and you ate it the next day when it came out. It was horrible. Everything about this was horrible. And then I was like, oh, shit, that's not the damn valet. That's an actual ex-wrestler.
That was Muffin Top Chuck Taylor, pal, with the broken ankle that can't be repaired. His in-ring career is over. They got him backstage. They made him look like he's an agent working backstage. I don't know what he does backstage. He probably goes out and picks up White Claw and Coke for the staff. I don't know. What do they hope to gain by telling everybody how poor they were? This is like shades of Darby Allin. I lived in my car. Hey man, I sweat and bleed and eat AEW wrestling. I lived in my car. And I had to shower at gas stations. Great. You stink.
I eat corn the long way. Huh?
You stink. I ate a corn dog on a nude beach and got thrown out.
It's just awful. This whole thing was awful.
It's terrible. No one cares about where you came from or how bad your life was. You're every single one of you are making over $250,000. $250,000 now. And that's on the low end of what he's paying these guys.
It sucks, Bottles. I'm tired of hearing about the hobo lifestyle they had before the gracious Tony Khan decided to swoop them from the bowels of the sewer and put them on TV and say, here, go live your dream.
It's been 5 years of this. 5 years. They've been employed for 5 years. They all have houses. They all have nice cars. If they don't, they're freaking idiots. It's the days of living in your car and living on a loaf of bread and bologna that you're heating up on your engine block. It's over. You're okay.
I just want one of them once to start the promo off with, I woke up in a new Bugatti. Just start it off that way so it's different. So I got to hear about your broke-ass Griswold station wagon going down Route 10 with the wheel flying off. I'm just tired of hearing that shit. Because what I got to hear next was channels changing across the land because Chris Jericho came out to fight Brisco. And this match was made for AEW neckbeards. They went through every table known to man. Brisco bled like a stuck pig. This had every trash segment in a ladder match you could possibly want. Diving off of shit. Yeah.
Ladder war, Don. Ladder war.
Yeah, what up? Brisco sacrificed his body to the 10th degree, dove on Jericho several times. Jericho just had to lay his dead-ass body there and take the fall. Brisco put himself in harm's way over and over again.
Jericho's down. Brisco climbs a ladder to jump off on Jericho. When the belt is right there. He's up on the ladder right by the belt. He could have hit his head on the belt. It's right there. He had to just reach up and pull the belt down, and the match is over.
But no, we're not.
But he chose to jump off on top of Chris Jericho.
I'm throwing that comment up because he gave somebody earlier, but that's a great.
It's just awful. This is the worst. I love Mark Briscoe. He made the best of what he could with the ingredients that he had.
I thought he put on a hell of a match. By the way, like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. The ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Check us out. We're here every Thursday to review this god-awful show that they call All Excrement Wrestling.
Where does Jericho go? With the
I don't have a clue.
Is he off our TV? Is he off our TV for good?
No.
On Ring of Honor website, defending the belt? Like Athena?
I swear he did this and told Tony, if you give the belt to me, I can get us a Ring of Honor TV contract because people know who I am.
I bet that's exactly what he did. They're probably going to shop around Ring of Honor to various sundry independent stations around the country. Pluto TV, Ring of Honor. They'll have more coverage than what they have now.
Austin 316 says this was all trash. Anyway, out comes Big Bill, choke slams him being Brisco through the tables. Chris wins.
You forgot our man.
Oh, I did want to mention Low Page Drifter came out.
Of course. If this is an AEW Dynamite podcast review, we've got to mention Low Plains Drifter.
Low Plains Drifter.
In his nipple pants.
It was so great. Oh, my God. And then I wrote, the Japanese dude comes out at the end of this. I thought we were done with this guy, man.
Ishii?
Tomohiro
Ishii. He came out and walked down to the top of the ramp. Someone said, come this way, come this way. He went out to the top of the ramp and said to himself in Japanese, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
No, his name
is now. And he turned around and went back. I would say that Ishii is going to be challenging Jericho for the Ring of Honor Championship. That's a match that everybody wants to see. Let me tell you.
God.
When I said I'm going to watch AEW Dynamite tonight. I'm going to watch Dynamite tonight. I can't wait to see Tomohiro Ishii. Bullet head Tomohiro Ishii, who can't turn his head from side to side. I can't wait to see him take on that watered-down Sebastian Bach lookalike, Chris Jericho. That's a match that people would just throw money at the TV when they see that.
Lord, help me get through this show. It's all I can do to not drink a whole bottle of Buffalo Trace. On to the next segment. Statlander versus Camille segment, and they're advertising it. And I said, why? Why is Statlander suddenly a face a month or two after she was a heel with what's his name? I don't know. Again,
Stokely.
It's so
Stokely
weird.
Hathaway.
Stokely. She was
feuding with Willow Nightingale, everybody's favorite girl, Willow Nightingale. Happy-go-lucky Willow Nightingale. The evil Chris Statlander was feuding with her because they need challenges for Mercedes Moné. That's why.
Again,
Mercedes Moné. They've got more heels than they got faces, Don. They got more heels than they got faces. You can't make it with Queen Aminata, Medulla Oblongata, and Sky Blue's out with a broken leg. Who knows when she's coming back? Anna Jay's back. Is she a face? Is she a heel? Who cares?
Again, let me finish. This doesn't have any connection to anything happening in this company right now. There's no reason for them to face other than Tony Khan said, I want my two big-ass women to have a match. That's the only reason.
The two big-ass women. Yes. And Statlander, I think it was a great promo package, for lack of a better term. A highlight reel of them working out, Camille and Statlander. And who knew that she was challenging Camille? We talked about this on the phone last night. Who knew?
I did after this.
Yes, I did too. I think it was a well-done promo package for what they tried to get across. But the problem they have is, all of a sudden, a major heel is now a babyface for reasons.
Everything about this sucked. But
horrible.
I've got good news. Adam Cole's ghost comes out next. And there he is.
The ghost of Adam Cole. He's a shadow.
At 132 pounds. 132 pounds soaking wet. And I've got to say,
Adam Cole.
This boom thing is taking too damn long. They need to shorten the song. It takes forever to get to. I don't understand what the appeal is. The crowd, it's sort of hit and miss.
Dude,
and
they sat on their hands all night long. How quiet was this crowd all night long?
It wasn't the best crowd.
It wasn't the best crowd. Of course,
it's Utah.
You've got a cavernous arena with 2,500 people in there, Don. The boom thing is all he's got. That's all he's got left. That's all he's got left, and a huge Twitch account. That's it.
Which will go away once he's no longer wrestling. Someone should probably tell him that. You're famous on Twitch because you're a professional wrestler who's been on TV. Out comes Roddy, and I'll write, okay, we're doing this again. Adam Cole just told him he was doing this alone. Roddy comes out to interrupt. The "we checked on you" friend shit is so tired. We were checking on you. We were your friends. Why is everybody so worried about who their friends are, man?
The faces are heels. The heels are faces. Three guys that were heels 2 months ago or a month ago, they're faces now because they came out to check on Adam Cole, who was a heel for months and months, and now he's a baby face because he came back from an injury.
Next thing we know, MJF pops up on the screen when they're all friends again. He's getting some sort of massage, says he's going to get a happy ending. The first one of these two guys, either Roddy or Cole, that's what he said. He says the first one of these two guys, Roddy or Cole, that gets to 3 wins will get to face him. And then we see Kyle O'Reilly in the back because why not? Why not add more shit on top of this shit sandwich from a guy that's in another group that's literally got one arm to fight with? None of this makes any sense. And you know how this is going to end. The caveat's going to be after they both get 2 wins. Now you have to face each other to see who faces me. You know that's where this is going. God, man. Just, Sherry, I need a drink. It just keeps getting worse. Sorry if I'm getting loud. I don't mean to. But this shit was just getting worse and worse, man. Because my notes are getting shorthanded at this point in time. This is how frustrated I was watching this show. Super Chat's open. Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Wriggling on the dingling. Hit that thumbs up notification, please. We appreciate your support.
Don.
Ghost of Mr. Chicken is in my screen. What can I help you with?
It's the most aggravating 2 hours of professional wrestling I've ever watched in my entire life.
But we say that every week because it keeps getting worse. We did get a female
topping himself on the aggravation scale. They keep topping themselves every week, going higher and higher. Right now, I'm up to here.
We then get, I guess who was on this promo? Was it Ford? I couldn't hear shit she was saying because Timu Becky Lynch comes out there and responds. And I said, I don't know what anybody said in this segment, and I really don't give a shit at this point in time. I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Penelope Ford, Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter came out.
Timu Becky Lynch.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what the fashion choices are. I don't know what's going on with Jamie Hayter. I know that she refuses to work with Britt Baker. That was a feud in the making right there. But she doesn't want to have anything to do with Britt Baker anymore because of they didn't get along backstage. But who does with Britt Baker? Rebel, that's it. And Rebel's
James Murphy
in the hospital or sick. James Murphy working today, but I had to show my
Chat.
respects. Plus a waste of MJF. You're right, James. I bet he wished WWE was knocking on his door. They were, and he chose AEW for a ridiculous amount of money. He made his bed, and now he's lying in it. But he's paid very, very well to be in his house, laying on a slab, getting a massage from
happy ending.
Whoever that is. A happy ending. Yes. Thanks for the $5, James. Appreciate you. Appreciate you watching. And please like and subscribe. Give us a
James, appreciate you, man. I know you're a longtime follower. I know your work often interacts with you when we're going live, but we do appreciate the support, man. Keep up the good work tonight. Hope it's just it's a safe night. Stay safe, brother. House of Black returns versus 3 weirdos, and that's how I wrote this down.
House of Black's good faction. I mean, hey, look, they look like wrestlers. They look like kick somebody's ass.
They look like kick-ass stars. Even though I hate that fat piece of shit.
Brody King is terrible.
With all the tattoos, I think he's a despicable human being. But they're over with the crowd. What?
Let's talk quarter hours right now because we shifted into another quarter hour. With the Chris Statlander video with MJF and the Undisputed Kingdom with Cole, they went up to 669, from 611 to 669. Okay?
Okay.
Now we start to have a descent into madness. With the Jamie Hayter promo and the House of Black match, it goes down to 583.
Holy shit.
583.
Everybody said, I don't want any part of this. I'm out of here. All right. Well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because the House of Black with the three weirdos, you knew how this was going to end. They had a good match. Then we get Buddy calling out Michael Cole, or not Michael Cole, Adam Cole at the end of this thing.
Out Michael Cole.
No shit. And when they asked him in backstage, Adam Cole says, "Why do you want to fight me, man?" Because I think you'll break easy or something like that. Or you're some shit about how his injuries are always happening. Legitimate beef. I don't get it. Whatever.
There's no beef. They never interacted before. They've never interacted.
Oh, he says he's fragile. That's what he said. You're fragile. I'm going to prove it.
He's never interacted with Adam Cole in his life. Never in this promotion. Why would you have a guy who is jacked to the bejesus face the most... God almighty. To fight a scarecrow. He's fighting a scarecrow. Remember Moppy?
No, hold on.
Saturn's Moppy?
Hold on. I watched The Wizard of Oz. I will not let you sit here and disrespect the good goddamn name of Scarecrow. That guy had heat.
He did have heat, especially when he got set on fire. But remember Moppy? Perry Saturn had Moppy back in the Attitude Era. Adam Cole was Moppy all grown up. Straggly, stringy
Moppy
hair,
would
all
kick
wet.
the shit out of him.
He
Moppy would kick his ass.
But we're body shaming Adam Cole now. He doesn't look like a professional wrestler. Should be a manager. He weighs about 150 pounds, for God's sake.
He ain't 150.
It's disgusting.
He's not 150, pal. I got news.
What do you think he is?
He's not.
What do you think he is?
He's probably about 135.
Probably, yes.
Honest to God.
The jacket is probably a third of his body weight. The leather jacket. It's ridiculous. He looks like a goof. He looks horrible. Oh, well, you're just body shaming Adam Cole. You're probably overweight yourself. I'm not a pro wrestler. I'm not a professional wrestler.
We're getting paid to work out.
I'm not paid to work out and look like Buddy Matthews or Aleister Black, Malachi Black, whatever you want to frickin' call the man. Or look like Brody. Well, Brody King's just a gelatinous blob. Talk about Miro or any other overly...
Okay.
Chicken hawk.
We get it. You're going down this aisle.
It's just aggravating.
We've got so much more to get through, and I can't handle much more. Camille versus Abdullah Oblongata. And they had Camille get her ass kicked for a lot of this. And there were some scary spots in this where I just wrote down, Abdullah Oblongata is too tall to be going for these flip spots over and over again. Don't do this again. You're too damn big and too tall to be doing this. It was just absurd. Abdullah loses in the end. Statlander comes out, and we shit on the champ. Get a cheap shot with a no-sell. That's what I mean by we shit on the champ. Mercedes hits Statlander in the back of the head. Statlander sells it like nothing happened. Is she the champion or not? I don't understand what the hell is going on. This whole thing just deteriorated right in front of us. It makes all the sense in the world why it went to shit. We go back outside where Kip Sabian is running from Christian Cage. This is so weird. He's been running for him for weeks. I don't understand what any of this is happening.
It is just the shits. Number one, Camille should not be getting her ass kicked by anybody. When Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash were a pairing back in the WWE, when you saw Diesel wrestle and Shawn was outside the ring, did you see Diesel get his ass kicked by anybody for a while in a match? The match was over in 2 minutes. Done. Over with. That's the way this match should have done. Camille gets hit in the face by Queen what do you call her? Medulla?
Abdullah Oblongata.
Queen Oblongata. Queen Oblongata gets, she punches Camille in the face last week.
Medulla
and Camille
oblongata.
sold it like somebody took a shotgun and blew her jaw off. It was ridiculous. And now, why do you have Camille? If she's getting her ass beat, why do you have her? Why? She's supposed to be a heater.
Know.
A heater where she's supposed to just beat the hell out of people and soften them up for Mercedes Moné. She's fighting someone that Mercedes Moné fought last week and beat. And she had trouble with her this week. And Mercedes Moné's outside the ring going, oh, is my wig on straight? Oh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Statlander comes out. Whoever let her come out wearing that top should be fired.
The bat signal?
Dude, when you've got
she literally was wearing the bat signal.
When you've got no boobs, you don't want to accentuate
Whoa, I'm not going there. I'm just
saying, I'm not body shamed. Well, I body shamed Adam Cole. I don't give a shit. If you have no boobs, you don't want to accentuate the fact that you have no boobs. You want to.
I don't even care
look up there, but she came out wearing that, and what's done is done. No one backstage says, that might not be a good look for you. Go back and pick something else out.
I don't care that she was wearing that she's small up top. What I cared about was she looked like she had a bat signal on her chest, and all I could think was bang, pow,
the worst.
Zoom. It just sucked. This was terrible. Because it's going to get worse. Christian Cage, and Kip Sabian get in the ring, and all of a sudden Hook is here, and it turns out Kip Sabian knew Christian Cage was attacking him and was trying to stop him from getting jumped or some shit. Again, another angle that doesn't make any sense. And the funniest part about this whole thing was Christian Cage was in the middle of the ring whipping Hook's ass, and he goes, "How do you like that, Tyler?"
Well, that's his name. That's his real name. Tyler Sinerka is his real name.
Shit, I don't care. His name is Tyler, and he's going by Hook. I'm done. I said that was the best part. And then...
Look, Don. He's only 150 pounds, 6 feet tall, maybe. And his name is Tyler Sinerka. How threatening would that be? You got to call him Hook, Rambo, Switchblades taken, Machete, whatever. You got to call him something.
Okay. Anyway, then they said out next is the main event. And I said, I forgot what the main event was. And they said it's going to be, tell everybody what the main event was.
Private Party.
Okay. And, I can watch.
I'll try to remember. It was so forgettable. I can't remember who the tag team partner of Private Party was. But who is he
facing?
They took on the Elite, the Young Bucks,
okay, stop
and Jack
right there.
Perry.
Me, literally, when I remember this was happening, I ain't watching this shit. Next channel. So you got to tell me what happened, because I do not give a shit. I refuse to watch the Young Bucks. I'm over any of this. Every time they're on my TV, I'm changing the channel. I want nothing to do with this tag team. Nothing about them makes me want to watch. Nothing they touch makes me want to watch. Everything they do has go away circa 1995 Jeff Jarrett jerk-off heat for me. It's a joke. They're clowns. They pump their shoes up. They have the same match every damn match. The whole thing is a diatribe of shitty wrestling week in and week out where no rules are obeyed. The referee is meaningless. There's no countouts, and I'd rather watch two goats hump in my backyard. That would at least obey the laws of nature in some way or some form of wrestling. There's got to have rules in this damn ring. They don't abide by anything, and that's what I equate it to. Two goats humping in the middle of the ring. I got nothing. I got nothing to say about it.
Do the goats humping in your backyard have jerk-off feet also?
No, they have all little pumps. Little shoes they pump up.
The goats humping in your backyard.
Yes.
Define jerk-off heat.
I can't easily. The Young Bucks. That is the definition. When you look it up in Webster's dictionary, jerk-off heat. It's them, and then below them it says circa 1995 is Jeff Jarrett doing the strut and that stupid-ass hat. That's it. So tell us what happened with these clowns.
Private Party and Daniel Garcia faced the Elite, which is comprised of, in this iteration, Jungle Boy and the Young Bucks. Blah, 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 blah. The only thing notable in the match was the guy from Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy, was running the ropes with one of the Young Bucks. And he got clotheslined by one of the Young Bucks and ran right through it. And bounced off the ropes and then knocked down that guy from the Young Bucks who clotheslined him. No selling all the way. It was fantastic. It was glorious. Where I said, did you hear me in Virginia? When I said, what the F? I saw that. I couldn't believe it. And spilled my beer right down my leg. I said, what the hell was that? And then one of the Private Party personnel pinned a Young Buck. So, with that being said, they won. They won another shot at the Young Bucks Tag Team Championships. And throughout this entire exchange, the entire crowd was either dozing off or they sat on their hands. Or they were checking the time on their phones to see, should we leave now to get out of here before it's a long line out of the parking garage? What do you think we should do, honey? And they pitched to the Young Bucks. One more shot at the belts. One more shot at the belts. Young Bucks said no. Oh, hang on a second. I tell you what. One more shot at the belts, and we can't win the belts from you at I think it's Fright Night Dynamite next week.
I think it's Douchebag Central is what it is.
Yes, next Wednesday. We can't win the belts from you. Private Party breaks up. And Mark Quinn from Private Party, the guy who was out hurt for like a year, he goes, What? What are you doing? What are you saying? No, I got this. If Private Party can't beat you next week, Private Party breaks up. What are you doing? What are you doing? I got this. And the Young Bucks just go, okay. No microphone. Just, okay. So I guess they telepathically agreed to it. And
so here's
Isaiah
my question.
Cassidy, go ahead.
You knew that the Cracker Clan was coming back in. So how did they get involved at the end of this? Because everybody's waiting on them. I believe you told me earlier that the chick pulls up in the truck, but magically the entire band is already in the house, beating the shit out of somebody in the ring.
What happened.
And they lay out the valet.
Here's what happened. Private Party's in the ring.
The Cadillac.
Garcia's there. Private Party are arguing amongst themselves like, what are you doing? And the Elites are standing on the stage in the back, off to the side. They got to be on camera. They cut away to the AEW Dynamite Tron, and you see a different truck pull up. Not the pickup truck that they were in the desert.
Salt Flats.
In the Salt Flats, a different truck altogether. Marina Shafir gets out of the truck. Meanwhile, all the jobbers, the JWO, Jobber World Order is standing there. And, it's just her. As she just stands in front of the truck and sachets by them. Meanwhile, Claudio Cannoli and Wheeler Useless pop in. They sneak in the back, coming out of the stands or from somewhere. I don't know. They were probably hiding underneath the empty seat when the
it doesn't matter. What happened?
They ran to the ring. They beat up Private Party. Daniel Garcia beat those guys up, threw them out of the ring, or left some of them laying in the ring. I don't know. A lot of wreckage. I tried hard to care about what's going on in the ring. Next thing you know, you see Moxley come from the side of the stage, dragging a beat-up Chuck Taylor, who we saw earlier.
The valet.
Orange Cassidy. The valet parking attendant. Chuck Taylor.
All he was doing was trying to park their truck, and he kicked his ass for it. What a diabolical bastard.
Beat the hell out of the guy.
And then, of course, I did see, by the way, the last 3 seconds of the show, OC Orange Cassidy's down there. Oh, my friend. My poor, pitiful friend. What will I do?
Wheeler Useless put a folding chair, around his ankle.
It doesn't matter. So none of this
somebody's going to jump on. Claudio Cannoli said, stop. He put it around his neck. Claudio came off the top rope, landed on the chair, landed on Chuck's neck. He pulverized the man's neck. Chuck Taylor's, instead of calling for an ambulance, instead of having a gurney come out for the man, anything like that, a doctor came out and massaged his neck. While Orange Cassidy cried alligator tears, crouched over top of the body of Chuck Taylor.
And the whole time they played the Beatles. As my guitar gently weeps.
And Don, the crowd went mild.
Because,
it was
again,
absolute crap.
no one gives a shit about the valet. Orange Cassidy has never meant less. The Young Bucks were supposed to be the guys that were taking over AEW. This thing got lost in the mail like a check. It's lost in the mail. It never got home. It never got cashed. Everything AEW is doing right now has got, like I said, Jeff Jarrett go away heat. There's no storyline that's staying in character with the characters. MJF is a heel. The devil's a face. Suddenly, John Moxley is a Cracker Clan leader, and the chicks beating the shit out of all the B-list guys in the back. They're driving around in pickup trucks. All they need now is a pitchfork, and we're set. Because none of this makes any sense. I haven't seen Swerve Strickland in a month now. Where the hell did that guy go? Suddenly he's MIA. Okay,
he's coming back next week, Don, to wrestle Shelton Benjamin.
And he's going to beat him, and you know where that's going to go. You know where it's going to go from there.
Where?
Out comes that big bastard. And he's like, this is the real heater. Shelton Benjamin was the warm-up act to see if you could
Bobby
make
Lashley.
it. Bobby Lashley enters the scene.
Of course.
Anyway,
possibly Powerhouse Hobbs. Let's go over to quarter hours, shall we?
Oh, Lord. Where's the hammer? Where's the hammer to smash my head?
Camille versus Queen Oblongata. Hook.
Abdullah Oblongata.
Kip Sabian. 580,000. So they only lost 3,000 people.
Oh, my God.
When the
Bucks,
private party versus
the Bucks,
five, what?
What?
You sound like a goddamn auctioneer. 532,000.
Oh my God!
The Bucks. 532,000. Do I have 532,000? Do I have 510,000?
Hold on. I wasn't alone. What was it before this? Go back and say the last two before the Bucks came out.
Okay. The Jamie Hayter promo House of Black match. 583.
Okay.
Camille versus Oblongata only lost 3,000 people. He went down to 580,000. Yes. When the Bucks came out, it dropped down to 532,000, and the overrun was the same, 532,000. So, Don, the best thing you could say is the overrun stayed steady.
No one wants to watch these ass clowns wrestle on television. No one. I'm not alone, and I don't feel bad about it. I can't stand these guys, and I wish they'd go away. I do want to thank everybody for watching tonight. We really appreciate your support. Work, home, or play. We are here to try to have a good time. We hope you guys too. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notifications button. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Black Larry says $5. That's me yelling at Visions Gentlemen's Club. The Bucks. Oh, Larry, you're on a roll tonight, brother. What can I tell you?
Don, if you haven't known,
I swear to God, if you show me Rampage.
I'm not going to show it to you. Just talk about it. Here's what you got on Rampage coming up. You've got the Beast Goat Boy, Mortos, versus Beef.
You should have seen what he was doing in the backyard earlier.
Beef. He was humping another goat boy. Beef. Who is Beef? Anna Jay versus Layla Gray from
Beef
Top
is a
Flight.
strip club. Beef is actually a strip club in Canada.
Beef Wellington. Anna Jay versus Layla Gray.
If you know what I'm talking about, Tom Segura, if you don't know, is one of the funniest comedians on earth. He's got a segment about a strip club in Canada called God. No. Hell no. Hell no. No.
Here's a 6-man match. Undisputed Kingdom versus the Gates of Agony versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Who? And Ricochet, the new king of Rampage.
Here we go. The king.
We're having a Ricochet Rampage on Friday nights now. Ricochet versus that esteemed competitor, Nick Wayne, and his mother.
Thank you again, Larry, for the $5 super sub.
Skilla-face Wayne, his mother. What? How the mighty have fallen. Everybody thought he was just the greatest thing ever, pal. They thought he was a game changer again when he came in. And now he's nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Bottles, we have been through a lot of shitty wrestling. I want to thank everybody for sitting through this. I know one guy that would have probably left what I did last night.
I'm sure that one guy's spinning around in his grave right now like a rotisserie chicken.
No,
when
he'd have been like,
talk about AEW Dynamite.
No, he'd have been like,
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.